Most Canadians don't realize that their final tax bill could be the biggest one they ever face. Without a plan, your assets could be hit with taxes of up to 50% or more, leaving less for your loved ones or charity and more for the government. Today, I'm joined by Wilmot George, Managing Director of Tax and Estate Planning at Canada Life. Wilmot, if someone wants to be confident that their estate goes to where they actually want it to, where should they begin?
That's a great question. They should start with an estate plan. Estate planning can mean different things to different people depending on their personal situation. But at its core, estate planning is the process of creating a plan for how your assets will be handled when you pass away or if you become unable to make decisions. It includes legal documents that will outline who will receive assets after death and who will make financial and healthcare decisions if incapacitated. At the end of the day, an estate plan offers peace of mind from knowing that you have a clear plan in place to reduce confusion and stress for loved ones should incapacity or death occur.
Many Canadians are surprised to hear about the taxes and fees that come up at death. Can you walk us through what these costs actually look like?
Most are familiar with the two certainties in life, death and taxes. And indeed, Canada does have its fair share of taxes. Employment, business, and investment income are all subject to tax, and there's also a consumption tax, GST, PST, or HST. Income tax at death is also a reality for many Canadians as assets are deemed sold at that time, which can create a large income for the year of death and taxation at top tax rates. Also, depending on province, estate administration fees or probate fees might also apply when settling an estate, adding to an estate's tax liability. Without planning, taxes and fees can eat up a big chunk of one's estate, sometimes over 50% of income realized at the time of death.
Thank you, Wilmot. What is it that people can do to reduce taxes and fees at death?
Well, we can't know everything. So often I suggest seeking qualified advice from financial, tax, and legal advisors who can provide tips to consider and traps to avoid. Strategies to minimize taxes and fees at death might include drawing additional income in retirement at potentially lower tax rates to avoid a big tax hit at death. Where available, naming beneficiaries on RSPs, RIFs, TFSAs, and insurance contracts to bypass your estate at death and avoid the probate process. Having a will. Doing so allows you to name an executor and avoids an automatic probate process. And also, understanding rollover rules for assets transferred to a spouse, common law partner, or children with disabilities to defer taxation at the time of death.
Wilmot, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and expertise on this subject, and thank you to everyone watching today. If you're unsure about how your estate is set up or concerned about how much tax could be triggered at death, I'd be happy to walk through your plan with you. Thanks for watching.